Verse 3, then out of the smoke locusts came from the earth, and to them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. Now, mind you, these are not literal locusts. I know you can find a picture about like locusts that are like 3 foot long. Somebody photoshopped those puppies. Normally, locusts will run no more than from your wrist to your elbow.
But still, that's nasty.
I have seen them. They can run easily 6 to 8 inches. And I put a couple photos online on Facebook. So they can be very large. But they're not going to cover the entire earth all at one time. So we have to look at this and pick this apart a little bit here. Then out of the smoke, locusts came upon the earth, and to them was given power. First of all, they're not talking about giving critters power. As the scorpions of the earth have power, the locusts will have this kind of power. So these are not literal locusts. They have great power, so it is believed that they are actually fallen angels that have been imprisoned. And now a locust is considered a swarm. They cover. They cause darkness. When they lift, they ride in huge bands and armies. So you're talking billions of locusts when they come out. When they take over and it's a plague that covers the land, they march like soldiers. You can see them on the ground, 4 inches long, and they're just covering and marching, getting ready to fly and devour. That is what these fallen angels will be, as locusts that rise out of this smoke. At least it is believed that they are not little critters, but they're a swarm of demonic angels, beings, fallen beings. Now, 2 Peter says this, and that's why I think it's true that they're fallen angels. 2 Peter 2:4 says, for if God did not spare the angels who sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into the chains of darkness to be reserved for judgment. So they're in there. Satan has a key to the bottomless pit. He opens it up. This smoke and heat rises, and with it, he has loosed something. And trust me, they're not grasshoppers that have been imprisoned for thousands of years. You know, I'd like to keep some grasshoppers down there. Verse 4, they were commanded. Oh, that means you could talk to them. There again. They have ears to hear. They were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth, or any green thing, or any tree, but only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. Now, the argument is, locusts eat green stuff. That's true. That's true. But I want you to hear a little farther what these locusts do. In chapter 7, if you remember, 144,000 Jewish virgins were sealed. 12,000 from each tribe, and each of their nation, their nationality of their tribes. Benjamin, Reuben, Manasseh. They become untouchable because they're going to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so, if these are truly a locust, he says, don't touch them. Well, a person isn't that afraid. They just swat them out of the way. They're a pest, but normally they don't kill you. But here it says in verse 5, and they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment them for 5 months. Torment who? Those that did not have a seal of God on their forehead. Now let me tell you this, born again believers are sealed with a seal. Now I can't see the seal, but apparently the enemy can see the seal. The scripture says they're sealed with a seal. And in the end of Revelation, it says they had a seal of God on their forehead. So I expect that John and Stacy have an invisible mark on their forehead that the enemy can see that says, back off. When they know the authority they operate in, the enemy goes, they're covered under the blood. Okay. So here it says, but only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. So I believe that those have given their life to Jesus Christ and are still living during the tribulation period, and they have returned to God and they have somehow escaped, that there is a seal of God on them that is clearly seen. And you become untouchable by this right here. This trumpet. And they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment the other people. So I want you to see how it's talking about it. You have to go back. But only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads, and they were not given authority to kill these men, but to torment them for 5 months. Now their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. So I had to go look that up. What does it feel like when a scorpion, anybody been bit by a scorpion here? So this is a couple people that wrote. They had been bit, one had been bit on the foot. 15 hours of excruciating pain. Got bitten walking on a driveway with flip-flops on. 2.5 hours later, my face went numb, my arms went numb, and I couldn't read. I ended up in emergency. Top of my ears were numb, slurred my words, could barely drink with a swollen mouth. I was a level 3 and a level 4. At that, you need anti-venom. So they observed me for 3 hours, and then I left the hospital, and I was in agony for 15 hours. Now, mind you, this is 5 months. It says, for 5 months. Their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. But to torment them for 5 months. The severe pain, here's another one, lasted about 20 hours. It felt as though someone had set worms of hot coals under my skin, wiggling, hot, and painful. And here's another one. The pain was terrible. It started off numbing my foot, and then the tingling and throbbing pain kicked in. It came in waves like contractions. And I've given birth, and this pain is comparable to that. Picture going through childbirth, intense labor for 5 months. It says, in those days, verse 6, men will seek death. The pain is so bad, they will seek death, but they will not find it. They will desire to die, and death will flee from them.